I'm sorry if my phone shakes a lot. I'm holding it in my hand. In this presentation, I'll be connecting why the social media leads to people being depressed and connecting it to social comparison theory. Social comparison theory is when people evaluate their own abilities and opinions to someone else's, such as this picture demonstrated right here. The white guy looking at the black guy, and the black guy's holding more pounds, and the white guy just looks in awe. Social media are multiple platforms. These include Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, but these are not limited to. Social media is proven to be a useful communication tool to talk to others online and whatnot. However, it has a negative side effect on society and individuals who constantly use it on a daily basis. These effects include addiction, suicide, and depression, but not limited to. Depression is a mood disorder, and that causes a persistent feeling of sadness, loss of interest. These symptoms include sadness, tiredness, lack of focus, anger, sleeping issues, and anxiety, but not limited to. Depression affects over 350 million people worldwide and 11 million people in the United States as adults. Depression and social media. So people who use social media less are typically less depressed and less lonely by other cases that have been studied and proven. The first article is exploring social media use and body image concerns in midlife and older women, made by Kathleen E. Basil. Social media has been shown to negatively impact the body image of girls and young women, and the expected test investigating this study is 101 women over the age of 30 in the United States. These are the 4 instruments that I use. The first instrument puts together what factors causes body image disturbance, whether it's family pressure, media, peers, significant others, or general attractiveness, whatnot. I'm sorry, bless me, thank me. Eating disorder assesses the psychological and behavior traits that are commonly found in individuals, personal self-esteem, body dissatisfaction, etc. The open-ended question asks questions such as how often do you use social media, how many hours are you on social media, stuff like that. Demographic questions are basically your typical age, ethnicity, and education level and whatnot. The results as far as comparing it to social comparison prove why social media leads to depression. In the study, it was concluded that women compared their bodies to younger women. This in return leads to body dissatisfaction, which leads to depression in midlife age women. Social comparison on Facebook and offline, the relationship to depressive theory symptoms, made by Madison Ferreira. This article basically compares Facebook and offline usage to depressive symptoms and puts them to test. The participants was 181 adults aged from 18 to 25 and 51 males and 130 females. The tools, measurements used, offline comparison, orientation. Oh, it says right there, I'm sorry. The first two basically puts to test the general tendencies to make comparisons. Example of this is if someone pays attention to how they do things and compares it to how others do things. So basically, if I look at you and see how much you weigh pounds, how much you lift pounds, and compare it to how much I lift pounds. The depressive symptoms test asks questions like I felt lonely and gives you a scale from 1 to 10, or none of the time to most of the time. The results of this test is the correlation indicates that there was a relationship between depressive symptoms and the 3 scales. The results show the comparison were more negative on Facebook than offline. So basically, people being on Facebook have more depressive symptoms than offline users. Comparing and modeling the social influences of Fitspiration. Fitspiration is a combination of fitness and inspiration on social network platforms. You can see this is a big part of social comparison theory because people look at other people, how they live, how they work out, and how much they inspire people and compares their own. And in this test, it looks at it to motivate people to have pursuit of healthier lifestyle. It was a total of 1,587 Taiwan male volunteers. The procedure, they made 3 Instagram accounts of models and put a bunch of videos and pictures of them working out and covered their face to eliminate facial preferences and showed the participants them at random. These are the measurements used, and all of these were scales, and you're put from 1 to 7, 1 being totally disagree and 7 being totally agree. The results of these findings was that psychological and behavioral impacts of social influences affect the bodies. Hypotheses such as perceived models' attractiveness will be directly related to motivation for self-enhancement will prove true. Yeah, on Instagram. Included my findings were that the depression is in social comparison theory inside social media. So people who use social media and compare themselves to people who are on social media have more depression symptoms and activity. These are my 4 scales, my 4 references. I'm sorry. And the textbook helped me find definition and connect all 3 of these articles to social comparison theory. And this is my last slide. Thank you. Have a nice day.